What if I told you there's a lost gospel, one that was banned from the Bible because it reveals teachings so powerful they could change the way we see ourselves and the universe? This gospel claims that sin doesn't even exist, and that Mary Magdalene, not Peter, was the true leader Jesus intended for his followers. Hidden for centuries, this text was almost erased from history, but it holds a message that, once you know it, you can't unsee. This isn't just about religion, it's about understanding a truth that the early church kept from us, a truth that could reshape how we understand life, faith, and existence itself. If you're ready to dive deep, to uncover a reality hidden for centuries, then keep watching. This isn't just another story from the Bible, it's a glimpse into a hidden world where salvation doesn't come from following authority, but from knowledge and understanding. This gospel shows us that we're not bound by the material world, that reality itself is an illusion that we have the power to transcend. But why would the early church go to such lengths to hide this knowledge? What were they afraid of? Today, we're going to uncover the secrets of the banned Gospel of Mary Magdalene and explore how its teachings challenge what we've been told about reality and our place in it. Let's take a journey back to the late 1800s in Egypt, where a German scholar unearthed something that would shake the foundations of the early Christian church. In the ancient city of Oxyrhynchus, he uncovered fragments of a manuscript that would later be known as the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. These weren't just ordinary writings. They contained teachings so controversial, they were banned by the early church to maintain control over what people believed. But what was so dangerous about this gospel? Why would it need to be hidden from believers? For starters, it presents a radically different view of salvation. The Gospel of Mary doesn't say that faith or obedience to the church is the way to salvation. Instead, it suggests that each person can find their own path by seeking knowledge, a type of hidden knowledge that frees them from the material world. This would have directly threatened the church's power, which was built on the idea that they were the only path to salvation. So, what exactly does this gospel teach? One of the most radical ideas in the Gospel of Mary is its claim that sin doesn't actually exist. Imagine that. The idea of sin, which has been used for centuries to keep people in line, is portrayed here as nothing more than a tool to control people through guilt and fear. In the text, Jesus explains to his disciples that the concept of sin is an illusion, and it's this illusion that keeps us trapped in suffering. He tells them that true liberation comes from understanding our true nature, a nature that is connected to everything around us. The church taught that everyone was born sinful and had to seek forgiveness and guidance through the church's authority. But this gospel challenges that notion, emphasizing personal responsibility and the pursuit of spiritual knowledge. It suggests that salvation doesn't come from outside us, but from within, through understanding who we truly are and the world we live in. This was a revolutionary idea in a time when religious authorities wanted complete control over people's beliefs and actions. Now, let's dive deeper into Mary's role in this gospel. According to the text, Mary Magdalene was not just a follower of Jesus. She was the one who truly understood his teachings on a deeper level. After Jesus departed, it was Mary who was supposed to guide the disciples to continue his teachings. This wasn't just a revolutionary idea, it was a direct challenge to the early church, which was strictly male-led. In this gospel, Mary is portrayed as a spiritual leader whom Jesus trusted with his most profound secrets. This portrayal of Mary Magdalene wasn't just controversial because of her gender, it also highlighted her unique understanding of Jesus' teachings. In one part of the gospel, Mary shares secret knowledge that Jesus revealed to her with the other disciples. But when Peter hears this, he dismisses her, saying he finds it hard to believe that Jesus would have shared such wisdom with a woman. This moment is powerful because it reflects the attitudes of the time, where women were seen as less capable of spiritual understanding. Yet Mary stands firm, and another disciple, Levi, defends her, saying that if Jesus chose to reveal this knowledge to her, then they should all respect it. This moment between Peter and Mary isn't just a disagreement between two disciples. It's a pivotal clash that questions the very structure of spiritual authority in the early church. Peter's reaction one of disbelief and dismissal toward Mary, reveals how deeply ingrained the idea was that spiritual authority could only belong to men. For Mary Magdalene to hold knowledge that even Peter might not have had was a radical idea, one that shook the foundations of a male-dominated hierarchy and suggested that wisdom and understanding weren't bound by gender or by the official hierarchy of the church. This alone would have been a significant threat to the structure the early church relied on, a structure that needed control over who could speak for God. But the Gospel of Mary doesn't stop there. Mary's knowledge and leadership are portrayed not as something bestowed upon her by human authority, but as a divine understanding that connects her directly to Jesus' teachings. In the Gospel, true wisdom isn't something you gain from following authority blindly. It's something you uncover within yourself by connecting with the deeper truths of existence. This teaching pushes us to question not just gender roles, but the very idea that any earthly institution or hierarchy is necessary to access the divine. In fact, the gospel implies that we don't need intermediaries to connect with God at all. The spiritual journey is something each person can embark on, guided by their own understanding and personal insight. This wasn't just an invitation for personal empowerment. It was a direct challenge to the early church's authority, which positioned itself as the exclusive gateway to salvation. Imagine the impact of this message on followers at the time. The idea that salvation didn't depend on religious figures or institutions, but on their own ability to seek truth within. Mary's role in this gospel represents a revolutionary shift in what it means to be a spiritual leader. Her example shows us that true leadership lies not in enforcing rules, but in helping others find their own path to understanding and connecting with the divine. So, what does this all mean for us today? The Gospel of Mary Magdalene tells us that the material world, the one that often feels confusing and overwhelming, is an illusion. It suggests that everything is connected, originating from a single source, and that by understanding this, we can transcend the limitations of our physical existence. This teaching is incredibly empowering because it means that we have the potential to free ourselves from the fears and insecurities that keep us bound to the material world. This idea isn't just a spiritual one, it's something that modern science, specifically quantum physics, is beginning to explore. At the smallest levels, scientists have discovered that everything is made up of energy, vibrations, and waves. Matter itself seems to be an illusion. Even Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, once said that all matter exists only by virtue of a force. This force, according to the Gospel of Mary, is something that we're all connected to, something that we can access if we have the knowledge. The intersection between science and spirituality isn't just a coincidence. Both fields seem to point to the same underlying truth, that reality is more than what we see. This alignment suggests that the wisdom of the past, the teachings of figures like Mary Magdalene, might hold keys to understanding mysteries that science is only now beginning to uncover. Another interesting parallel between ancient wisdom and modern science is the idea of consciousness. The Gospel of Mary suggests that our consciousness, our awareness and understanding, is the key to unlocking the mysteries of existence. This isn't so different from what some quantum physicists believe today. Pioneers like Erwin Schrödinger have even suggested that consciousness might be the fundamental force of the universe rather than matter itself. The implications of this are huge. It means that the teachings in this ancient gospel weren't just spiritual metaphors. They might have been glimpses into the true nature of reality, a reality that science is only now beginning to understand. If you're ready to keep uncovering these hidden truths, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.